Hey there, sports history fan. Arnie Chapman here from the Sports History Network. Now, before you jump into this episode, I wanted to share with you an exciting giveaway we have going on with Home Field Apparel. We have a digital $50 gift card to homefieldapparel.com for one lucky fan of the Sports History Network. All you got to do is head over to sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways to sign up. Again, that's sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways.
Hello, this is Ross Bliley from the podcast Pigskin Tales. This podcast is sponsored by Sterling Soap Company. With products sold throughout 41 locations around the globe, Sterling Soap Company has a unique assortment of products to choose from for your loved one for the holidays. Handmade artisan soaps created by Roderick and Amanda Lovin since 2012, these products are affordable and provide great value. Act now and save on your shipping costs. If you purchase $75 or more, your shipping cost is free in the United States. Shop now online at sterlingsoap.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Today, we will have part 4 of the frustrating history of the New York Jets, and we'll start with the 2005 season. The Jets finished the season with 4 wins and 12 losses, marking the end of Herm Edwards' tenure. Eric Mangini took over as the new head coach for the 2006 season. Jonathan Vilma and cornerback Ty Law earned Pro Bowl selections in 2005. 2006 Jets record was 10-6, but they were eliminated by the Patriots in the playoffs. Although no Jets players were selected for the Pro Bowl, quarterback Chad Pennington received the Comeback Player of the Year award. Staying true to their history, the Jets followed their 10-6 season with a disappointing 4-12 record in 2007. After 11 games in the 2008 season, the Brett Favre-led Jets stood at 8-3. Unsurprisingly, they lost 4 of their last 5 games, finishing with a 9-7 record and missing the playoffs. Brett Favre, running back Thomas Jones, center Nick Mangold, guard Alan Faneca, nose tackle Chris Jenkins, and cornerback Darrelle Revis all earned Pro Bowl selections. The series of coaching changes continued in 2009, with Rex Ryan taking the helm. The Jets finished the season with another lackluster 9-7 record, but still qualified for the playoffs, where they surprised everyone by defeating the Bengals and Chargers. For only the 4th time in team history, the Jets reached the championship game, but they lost to the Colts, ending their season. Alan Faneca, Sean Ellis, an offensive tackle, DeBrickashaw Ferguson earned Pro Bowl selections, while Nick Mangold and Darrelle Revis were named to both the Pro Bowl and All-Pro teams. 11 games into the 2010 season, the Jets were 9-2, tied for first place in their division with the Patriots. They had beaten the Patriots in Week 2, but now came the true test, a Monday night showdown with New England. The winner would take sole possession of first place. If they could win this game, it might give them the confidence they needed to reach the Super Bowl. But, as was usually the case, the Jets collapsed spectacularly. The final score was New England 45, New York 3. They lost again the following week to the 6-6 Dolphins, but bounced back with an impressive 22-17 victory over the 10-3 Steelers. They finished the season with an 11-5 record, and then defeated the Colts in the playoffs when Nick Folk kicked the winning field goal with no time remaining. Next up for the Jets were the 14-2 Patriots. Few gave the Jets a chance in this game, especially after the 45-3 debacle 6 weeks prior. But the Jets pulled off a major upset, defeating New England 28-21 and advancing to the AFC Championship game. They would face the Steelers, whom they had beaten 5 weeks earlier. This marked the first time in the team's history that they reached the championship game 2 years in a row. The Jets trailed 24-3 at halftime, but mounted a comeback in the second half, scoring 16 unanswered points. Though it wasn't enough to win, it was one of the Jets' best seasons, and the future looked bright. D'Brickashaw Ferguson, Nick Mangold, and Darrelle Revis made the Pro Bowl, with Mangold and Ferguson also earning spots on the All-Pro team. The 2011 Jets finished with an 8-8 record, and the 2012 Jets ended with 6 wins and 10 losses. So much for a promising future. Oh, the agony of being a Jets fan. In 2011, guard Brandon Moore, D'Brickashaw Ferguson, and Nick Mangold made the Pro Bowl, while Darrelle Revis earned spots on both the Pro Bowl and All-Pro team. In 2012, safety Leron Landry and cornerback Antonio Cromartie were selected for the Pro Bowl. In 2013, the Jets finished with an 8-8 record, and Nick Mangold and Antonio Cromartie made another trip to the Pro Bowl. Defensive end Sheldon Richardson earned the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. 2014 season was another disaster, ending with an embarrassing 4-12 record. Both Richardson and Mangold were selected for the Pro Bowl. Todd Bowles was the new head coach for the 2015 season, leading the team to a 10-6 record. But it wasn't enough for a playoff spot. Running back Chris Ivory, receiver Brandon Marshall, defensive end Muhammad Wilkerson, Darrelle Revis, and Nick Mangold were named to the Pro Bowl. For Mangold, this marked his 7th Pro Bowl selection. From 2016 to 2018, the Jets had a combined record of 14 wins and 34 losses, marking the end of Todd Bowles' tenure. During those 3 years, defensive end Leonard Williams and safety Jamal Adams were the only Pro Bowl selections. Adam Gase took over as the coach in 2019 and 2020, leading the Jets to a 9-23 record. Jamal Adams was named to the Pro Bowl and received All-Pro honors in 2019. Robert Saleh followed as the next coach in the Jets coaching lineup. The Jets recorded a 20-36 record under Saleh. Despite the team's disappointing 7-10 record in 2022, some players stood out. Linebacker C.J. Mosley earned a spot in the Pro Bowl, while defensive end Quinnen Williams and cornerback Sauce Gardner were both selected for the Pro Bowl and All-Pro teams. Gardner also received the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. Williams and Gardner were again selected to the Pro Bowl in 2023, joining linebackers Jermaine Johnson II and Quincy Williams. Quincy and Sauce Gardner also received All-Pro honors. Following a 2-3 start in 2024, Jeff Ulbrich assumed the role of head coach. The Jets ended the season with a disappointing 5-12 record. The Jets have had only 2 winning seasons in the last 15 years, and their future doesn't appear promising. In 65 years, they have reached only 1 Super Bowl and have celebrated just 19 winning seasons. Aaron Glenn will serve as the Jets head coach for the 2025 season, making him the team's 22nd coach in its 65-year history. While there are many reasons for the team's lack of success, let's begin with the absurdity of having a new head coach every 3 years. Or perhaps it's because they never hire the right person. Only 2 Jets coaches have left New York with a winning record. Bill Parcells, who coached the team for 3 years with a 30-20 record, and Al Groh, who only coached for 1 year and left with a 9-7 record. Both coaches resigned. Although Weeb Ewbank did not have a winning record with the Jets, he is the only coach to lead the Jets to a Super Bowl. Although the teams have a mostly losing history, they do boast 8 Hall of Fame members. I am only counting those who spent at least 6 seasons with the team. Now, you can make an argument for John Riggins, but he spent only 5 seasons with the club, and his prime years were with the Washington Redskins. So the first inductee was head coach Weeb Ewbank, who coached the Jets from 1963 to 1973. He was inducted in 1978. Ewbank led the Jets to their first winning season in 1967, and in 1968 he led them to their first and only AFL title, as well as their only Super Bowl victory. In 1969 he led the Jets to a 10-4 record before they lost a close game to the Chiefs in the playoffs. In 1985, quarterback Joe Namath was inducted into the Hall of Fame. He played for the Jets for 12 seasons, 1965 to 1976. Namath was a 5-time Pro Bowl selection and a 4-time All-Pro selection. Namath was the AFL MVP in 1968 and 1969. As well as the MVP in Super Bowl III. In 1967, he became the first pro quarterback to throw for over 4,000 yards in a season. Don Maynard was a wide receiver for the Jets for 13 seasons, 1960 to 1972. He was inducted in 1987. Maynard was a 4-time Pro Bowl and All-Pro selection. He gained over 1,000 yards receiving 5 times, and in 1967, he topped all Pro receivers with 1,434 yards. Running back Curtis Martin played for the Jets from 1998 to 2005. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2012. Martin was a 5-time Pro Bowl selection and a 4-time All-Pro. Martin rushed for over 1,000 yards 10 years in a row and led the NFL in 2004 with 1,697 rushing yards. Center Kevin Mawai played for the Jets from 1998 to 2005. He was inducted in 2019. Mawai was selected for 8 Pro Bowls and was an All-Pro 7 times. While with the Jets, he went to 6 Pro Bowls in a row. Offensive tackle Winston Hill played for the Jets from 1963 to 1976. He was inducted in 2020. Hill played in 8 Pro Bowls, 7 in a row, and also made the All-Pro team once. Joe Klecko played 3 different positions for the Jets: defensive end, defensive tackle, and nose tackle. Played 12 years with the Jets, 1977 to 1986. That would be 10 years. He was inducted in 2023. Klecko was a 4-time Pro Bowl selection and a 3-time All-Pro. Klecko was extremely versatile, making the All-Pro team as a defensive end, a defensive tackle, and a nose tackle. And the last member of the Jets to be inducted, cornerback Darrelle Revis, played for the Jets from 2007 to 2012, and again in 2015 and 2016. He was inducted the same year as Klecko in 2023. Revis played in 7 Pro Bowls and was selected as an All-Pro 5 times. Revis had only 29 interceptions in his 11-year career. But the reason he had so few is that no quarterback dared to throw in his area. In 2011, Revis had a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown. Okay, that's going to do it for this podcast. 4 parts of the frustrating history of the New York Jets. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website, seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.